Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about things that I have done or used or taken that have helped in this pregnancy. So I am well into my third trimester now, and I'm reflecting back over this period, and I've been making notes as I go so I could make this video of the things that have come up for me, the things that have been difficult, and the things that I have done or used that have made it that little bit easier. Also, a little bit of context, it's my second pregnancy, and it's very different being pregnant with a small person to look after. So when I was pregnant last time, I used to work for myself full time. I didn't have an employer, I worked for myself. I had a design store called Smug, and I ran that, and obviously there was lots of responsibility that came with that, but also there was like a level of autonomy that I was in charge of what my days looked like. So if I needed a lie-in, I could have one. If I needed a nap in my office, I could have one, and it was just a different rhythm to my day and opportunities to take care of myself. I was having pregnancy massage and reflexology regularly and things like that, and doing pregnancy yoga on the way to work or during the middle of the day. My current situation is I have a 4-year-old who isn't at nursery, so I'm looking after him from home. I work 2 days a week. My mum comes and helps on Mondays and Tuesdays, and so those are my main days of working while Stan's busy. But then on the other days I kind of try and look for little windows of time I can get work done too. But it's a very different existence to be pregnant in, to be caring for a small person and already having to look for little windows to work rather than be able to work whenever I want to and find windows to take care of myself. So that's kind of the context. I've made some notes so I don't forget anything. But basically, I'm just going to take you through some of the things that I have enjoyed or that have made me feel more comfortable, and have made being pregnant feel better. I'm not somebody who gets super nauseous in the first trimester. I'm quite lucky. It tends to be more that I'm just like off my food, that I don't really enjoy food, which sucks because I love food. But that first chunk, I can usually get food down. I'm not usually sick. It's more that I might get migraines rather than lots of nausea. But yeah, I'm usually just really tired and eat, but don't really love it. So the things that I've been doing from the beginning are taking a prenatal vitamin, so pregnant care, whether it's original or max or plus or whatever, I've been taking. And this is what I've done to make sure I've been drinking enough water. So this water bottle I just got from Amazon, it's called Hydrate, and it says the different times of day it is so that you know where you should have drunk up to. It goes down till the bottom, and then you start again at the top, so you refill it, so you have 2 a day. I've loved this so much that I've ended up buying it for loads of other people who aren't pregnant, because obviously it's good to just hydrate anyway. So my husband's got one, Stan, my son who's 4, has got one, our niece has got one, and we all love it. So I would really recommend one of these. It really does work, the kind of seeing the time that you're supposed to be up to and you're like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, I need to have some more. So that's really helped, and I have more so in pregnancy than usual. I really notice if I'm dehydrated, or if I notice I'm feeling a bit off, I quite often think, okay, how much water have I had? And there's such a correlation. So that's been really important. Then there are some apps that I found really useful and enjoyable. Last time actually, with Stan, there was a podcast called Pee in the Podcast, which is an American podcast, which was super educational, that week by week told you what was happening with the baby. And me and my husband used to listen to that to get that together, and I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't find it at all this time. But I have gotten more into apps. Both times I've used Ovea, which is really good for just like each week, that kind of similar information, rather than it being audio, like written information of what's going on with the baby, what's going on with you. It's got like a little hand size that shows you how big the baby's getting, and it does those things like your baby is the size of a coconut or whatever. But it's also got lots of articles that come through that are quite educational. I personally find educating myself makes me feel good in pregnancy, so I do quite a lot of that. So that's Ovia. And then there's an app called Flow that I've used a lot as well, and that's been really good for like meal planning and nutrition, and actually comes up with really delicious recipes that are really good in pregnancy. So I've liked that. And it also has courses in it, and lots of information. Like there's a yoga Pilates course, there's a meditation course, there's week by week bump information, baby information, quite a lot of different stuff. And as I say, I sort of like having those apps to go to kind of dive into connecting with being pregnant. I think second time round, it's really easy to just crack on and sort of almost forget that you're pregnant. It is quite important to me to have that place to go, which is about me being pregnant, if that makes sense. And then Expectful has been completely new to me. Flow was as well, but Expectful is a brilliant app. I'm so pleased that I have it. So I use that for meditation. There's a meditation literally every single day in your pregnancy. So I've really enjoyed that, and I think meditation has been a really big part of what I could do this pregnancy, in a way that it's been different from last one, like having less free time, like really finding that time to meditate and do breathing and all of this stuff. Also, it's good for workouts. So I'm feeling a bit unfit, and well, not unfit, but like achy and out of breath all the time now. So I'm less able to do like the cardio sort of workouts on there, but there are lots of like live meditations that you can log on and do things live. You can do workouts live in a group. It's a really great app. So I love Expectful. But also in terms of exercise, I've really loved walking. Like it's been really important to me. Before I was pregnant, I've always like tracked just on my iPhone like how much I've been walking, and I have always tried to sort of get to about 5k. That's been harder work while I've been pregnant. On Mondays and Tuesdays while mum's here, I just sort of crack on and get loads done. So I'm having to be quite intentional on Mondays and Tuesdays to take a break and go for a walk. On the other days it's easier, but I have found walking to be really important. And before it was important that I got it done and it made me feel good. Now it actually feels like a workout in itself, because I'm really quite big now, and my lungs are really squished. So it feels like, and just the weight of this baby, like carrying it around, is kind of like having weights. It's a bit like when you see people doing their run with a rucksack on. But walking has been really important. Another thing I've done through most of it actually is sleeping sitting up. And I don't know if this is like weird and other people wouldn't do this, but something that I got last time was pregnancy rhinitis, which just means like you're all stuffy and have a blocked nose the whole time. Something you can do to help with that is sleeping sitting up, and I haven't really got it this time, and I think that's why. But I've also been wanting to sleep sitting up, because you can't sleep lying on your back, and actually sleeping on my side was really achy and hurting, like my bump and the baby. So I didn't want to do that. Also, our son Stan gets in at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and for there to be space for all of us, I can't really be lying sideways with my leg up over a bolster with my arm like rah, rah. So actually I've just been quite comfortable sleeping sitting up, and I use this pillow that I got from Mamas and Papas last time, and I have pillows behind it and in front of it, but it like creates this arch that props me up that I can sit really comfortably and go to sleep. So that might sound weird, but it's worked really well for me, and I felt much more comfortable. And if I wake up regularly in the night as well, sometimes if you're like lying down on your side or doing something like that, you wake up with like all these pins and needles and leg cramps, and you suddenly wake up and you're like, ooh, where am I? Whereas I feel like when I wake up and I need a wee, I just wake up and I'm sitting there and I'm comfy, and it works for me. Also, in terms of other things that I've done for sleep, I've had lots of showers this pregnancy. Like there's been lots of times during the day, if I get achy, I've been able to have a warm shower, but particularly to like get ready for bed and to try and bring on sleep and feel relaxed, I've done quite a lot of having warm showers, and that's helped if I've been having Braxton Hicks contractions or back pain or whatever else. And there's a L'Occitane oil, shower oil, almond shower oil, that I've used a lot on the bump, and that's felt really relaxing. Other things that have been relaxing before sleep are, this is a pillow mist. This one's cedarwood and lavender. I've also got one that's just lavender, but spraying that on the pillows and doing things like that. And again, with the meditation, to actually get ready for sleep so I get enough sleep. has been really important. Also, I've been doing things like asking my husband, who leaves quite early in the morning, to have a shower before he goes to bed rather than in the morning, so that he can have longer with Sam before he goes. That's really helped, just even if it's like 15-20 minutes extra time in bed on my own, that's really helped. In terms of, I have some bio oil when it comes to like moisturizing my body and the bump, but what I really like is this Aesop Rind Concentrate Body Balm. So that's felt like quite luxurious and nice to use that. And then another thing actually that's been about being comfortable is once you've been pregnant once, you know to crack out the maternity bras as quickly as possible. So throughout my pregnancy, I've been wearing these. This is from H&M. The H&M ones are the best ones. They come in 2 packs. They don't have any fixings at the back. They don't have any like bits here that dig in or clips that come down. It's literally, it's kind of like an easy access, comfy sports bra. So it just goes on like this, and then you just pull down if you need to whack your baps out later. But these are really comfy, and I've got them in quite a few different like colours, like a black and a grey and a white and a nude. And so being comfortable has been really important. Like this onesie like jumpsuit is from Beyond 9, which is a great brand because they design things that work in pregnancy, but obviously Beyond 9 stands for like beyond the 9 months, so that you can keep wearing them afterwards. So I've got this and a tracksuit and various other things. So I think that's part of what's been easier this time, is working from home and everyone having 2 years of like COVID. Everyone has like comfortable but nice loungewear type vibes. So not having to wear skinny jeans and like having to travel in the bus into work carrying loads of stuff and wearing clothes that maybe feel like I get cut across the middle. So yeah, just wearing really comfortable clothes has been important. I'm jumping about a bit, but back to the, oh no, not back to, let's talk about this guy. I've also got a birthing ball or a yoga ball, and that is really comfortable. Like in the evenings, once I get to the point that everything's feeling a bit tight and achy and I might have a stitch, sitting on that and just being able to sort of rotate and stretch has been really, really good. It's gotten to the point sometimes where none of the sofas feel quite comfortable, none of our dining chairs do, but actually sitting on the birth ball has been much better. And then I've been doing a bit of reading. This is not a pregnancy book, but this is a brilliant, brilliant book that I would recommend to anyone. Barbara Fredrickson, Positivity. It's about positivity, but about all of the science behind positivity. Groundbreaking research to release your inner optimist and thrive. And it's been a really, like I've been reading it for work, but it's been a really nice thing to read in pregnancy. Then also, I'm really into hypnobirthing. And last time my hypnobirthing teacher, Katrina Berry, gave me this book to read, which she wrote. So that's kind of back to that like educating yourself thing through pregnancy that I really enjoy. And we're also doing the Positive Birth Company's hypnobirthing course online, the digital pack. And we're really loving that. That's so sort of, yeah, practical, educational, enjoyable to watch with your partner, whoever your birth partner is going to be. So that's felt really like empowering and educational and good to have that structure. But it also includes like, so it's been really good just for the learning and knowing what to do, but also it comes with like PDFs and MP3s and scripts to read out and meditations to listen to and visualizations to do. So all of those things have been really helping. Again, it's like back to that kind of theme of meditation throughout, which I really enjoy. There's stuff, just things like, even though I haven't been able to be doing the kind of self-care I would have hoped, although I am going to try and squeeze some of that in now towards the end, my skincare routine has been really important to me. So I've done really good, proper skincare routines in the morning and evening, I think every single day throughout the entire pregnancy. And I've maintained that as a moment for me and a moment to be taking care of myself. And that's felt really important. Another thing I've really liked is there's a YouTube channel called Channel Mum, and every week they have a video about pregnancy and how pregnancy is that week. And that's made me feel like, you're kind of part of like a little mini community, even though we're not doing NCT or anything like that, but that's given like a rhythm to my week of, oh, I'm turning on to week 31 or whatever. So you watch the video about it, and like that, there's a nice kind of rhythm to that. Another thing that's been major is deciding that we want to have a home birth. So we'll see if that happens or not, but basically when you decide to go over to the home birth team, it means all of your midwife appointments can be in your home. That's been really, really nice. I don't love hospitals, so to have the opportunity to feel more at home and more safe with that, and when you have blood taken, for that to be done here rather than you have to go and queue and have someone do it, and me like eating my chocolate bar to try not to like faint when I'm having my blood taken. So that's felt really good, that choice to go with being part of the home birth team. And also just Daniel my husband coming to all of those appointments, whether it was at the hospital or at home, has felt really important. And then one of the other things I've mentioned is like giving Stan more iPad time, like actually just being aware of how I am and how exhausted I am, and it being okay if he has like, for this period, for the 3rd trimester, like bigger chunks of time on the iPad, like playing games or watching something, so that even though I can't have a nap, I can sit down and read a chapter of my book, like letting that be okay. And also like trying to think of ways of playing games and explaining. He's old enough to explain like, oh, I can't quite do that because of my big belly. Like earlier we went to a soft play and we went to one that has a bouncy castle, and that means like I don't have to be very physical because I can't get on the bouncy castle anyway, so I can just sort of cheer him on and throw balls to him and stuff. So just being a bit conscious of ways that I can make play less difficult for myself. Sorry, the camera ran out then. So yeah, another way is like quite a lot of reading books, maybe like sticker books and magazines, and ways that we can engage through looking at books together, or even games that like imaginative games like doing shopkeepers or cafes, but in a way that he brings me coffees and he brings me, so that there's ways of playing that make it less exhausting, and just being quite mindful of that, because before I realised that and I was trying to just carry on as usual, by 2 o'clock I would be exhausted and need to fall asleep, and I couldn't fall asleep. Obviously had to look after him, so just pacing myself a bit better, going to bed earlier, but also the way we play throughout the day. And then when Dan gets home, if I need to, going and having a nap or meditating and just having some me time and recharging before bedtime and the evening approaches. And then I would say the final thing is nesting. It has really, really helped to nest and to sort out the different rooms, make them work better for us. So this living room we're in now is actually also my studio. So I've been making some changes to it to get ready for the baby, but also to make it an even better workspace for me. We've already got our bedroom sorted with the baby's bassinet ready. Stan came a whole month early, and so although we were ready in some ways, we hadn't built where he was going to sleep, and we ended up coming back from the hospital after 10 days without that sort of stuff in place. So it's really nice to be nesting so that we're prepared, but also nesting just feels exciting. Like, I'm loving it. I love interior design. I love our home. So working on our home, decluttering, making it more beautiful is really helping me in my pregnancy to have that focus. So yeah, that's kind of everything that I can think of that I wanted to share with you. Please do leave any comments of the things that you've done that have helped you in your pregnancy, so other people can go down and have a read through, or leave a question if there's anything that you want to ask, and I can hop in there and answer your questions. But otherwise, I just hope that this was like semi-useful or interesting. I think that there's a lot to being pregnant, and obviously it's different for everybody. But I have really, I remember the first time I was pregnant, I wasn't actually expecting it to be as physically hard work, which is kind of stupid. It's just one of those things that I guess until you do it, you don't really think about what it's like. So yeah, it was more full on than I was expecting the first time. And then this time also has been completely different, as I say, because of having a small person. So any ways in which you can be really intentional about how you can care for yourself and make your life easier, and have a happier and healthier pregnancy is obviously really important and awesome to do. So I just want to encourage you to do that, and encourage you to give yourself permission to rest or to do what the thing is that you need to do, and try and find ways to do that. So yeah, take care, lots of love. I hope you're feeling well, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.